So today we are going to learn Python code to track Amazon product price. So how this is going to be? So we are dividing the whole section into three parts while writing the Python code. So the first step will be we will extract the amount or the price of a particular product from the web page, and the second part will be we will compare that particular price with the desired price that we want to bargain. And the third one, once the product reaches our expectations, we will receive an automated email that the price has been dropped and now you can buy. So this is our main motto behind the code. So let's start it. First of all, I'm logging into the Amazon web page to see the product what I want. For example, I'm living in India, so my extension will be .in. So here I'm typing, for example, OnePlus 70. I know it's the older version, but still. For example, this product is now 37,999, and I know during the season of sale this price will drop to 32,000 or 33,000, maybe whatever it is, less than the amount which is showing now. Now to write the code, I am using the Visual Studio as my editor. So I am going to Visual Studio and I am creating a new file now, new file with an extension of .py. Let me save it with price tracker.py. So in order to do this, first we have to import requests and we have to import the BS4 in which Beautiful Soup is present. Let me write these two things first for you. Import requests. Remember, the S is important because most of the people do mistakes while writing this. S is very important because the library which we are using or the module which we are using is requests. Now we are importing, we have to import the Beautiful Soup. For Beautiful Soup, we will extract it from BS4. Import Beautiful Soup, Beautiful Soup. So once these two things are available to us, what we want is we want the URL. For example, in our case we want to bargain or we want to trade our trade the price with this particular product, and I have to copy this link first, Control C, and I'm creating a variable as URL is equal to this, and I'm pasting this link here. So once the variable is created with the name of the URL, and now I want a behalf. For example, we want a user agent and I'm creating a dictionary for it, and the name of the dictionary is header. For example, let me keep it in capitals, header or headers, whatever it may be. Now to create a dictionary I need a curly braces, and we all remember while giving a dictionary we give a key and a value pair. So the key here can be anything. I'm using a string. Let me brighten it up. So my user agent let me keep it in small first. User agent, and the value for this, you can get this user agent value by typing what is my user agent. So this is the user agent, my particular user agent, and copying it and pasting it in the place of value. Remember, okay? So once this step is over, I have to get the what I had said initially, that I am dividing the whole code into three parts. First, I am bringing up the price, means I am web scraping the price from the particular URL, from this particular URL through this header, and I am bringing up the price from this URL. That means I had scraped the price from here, and the second step will be I will compare it with my price, that whether it is below that particular price or it is still the upper price, still in the same price. Okay, and the third part will be if the price is lower than the desired than the present particular value, then I will receive an email. Okay, let's now write a code to get the value, to get the price of the particular product. So here I'm writing page. Let me write it a page as a variable now, because I am request dot, because I want to extract the value. Okay, get what, I have a variable URL. Okay, that's fine, and I'm creating a headers with a name of the what I had written actually, which is this one, headers compare, and then pasting it here. So this one is the first line. The second line, with the help of the soup, I am creating a variable named soup. Soup is equal to, with the help of the beautiful soup, yeah baby, beautiful soup. Then what will the page content? Page dot content. Okay, this will be HTML parser. We want HTML parser, parser. Okay, this is done. So now what I'm doing is, I want for example, while running this code, you should know that what you are running. So you should know that what is the title of the particular product and what is the price of the particular product. So now I'm bringing the title of the particular product and the price of the particular product. Just see and do, follow me. So the title is equal to soup dot find, because we want to find the ID. This is how you generally web scrape the content. So what is the ID? We don't know the ID. In order to know the ID, we have to go to the page now. Let's go to the Amazon page. So this is the Amazon page. Okay, cool down. So right click it, inspect it. Okay, so once you inspect it, you will go to this one and copy this ID. So in my case it's product title, so I am copying it and I'm pasting it here. So once it is done, so I have to get this one. So if you observe it carefully, here, you got it. This one is the title, this one is the title here, both are same. So we are extracting this title from the web. So that's what it is done here. Okay, so how we will get it? By get dot text. Okay, this will be fine. Now the next thing we want is price. We had scraped the title and now we are scraping the price. Okay, so this price also follows the same principle, which is soup find. Okay, here also we want the ID. here the id is equal to, let me keep it blank first, so I'm cutting it here. Okay, so this one, and yeah, you got this. Here the id is price block, so I'm copying this one and pasting it here. Yeah, great job. And the same thing follows here too. So dot get underscore of text, and here. Now what I'm doing, I got these two things, but how will I know? I'm printing title first, title, and I'm printing the, yeah, what it is, price. So these two things are done now. So this one is particularly, this one, let me keep all this thing, in one function. Let's name this particular function is as price, what will we run, let it keep price title price. Yeah, title price will be fine, title price. I'm pasting it here. Sorry, I thought I pasted it. Let me tab it first for you. I'm such a noob, that's why I'm doing it line by line. Don't laugh at me. Okay, so this thing is done. So once we this function is over, and once this function is over, we should be able to call something out of it now. So what are we calling here? I'm going to call it as, let's return the price. Yeah, that's what I want finally. Okay, so once this is done, let me keep this down. Let me create, sorry if this one is bothering you, let me create another definition. So let me compare. So this one is another function which I am doing. If price is equal to what is the function, this I have to call this function now. This thing will be in string format, and I'm type converting it into integer form, or you can use eval also. Eval, basically we use it for float, int, irrespective of anything, but here we know that our final output will be in the int format, that's why I'm keeping it in int. Okay, so that's why I'm not using eval function. So here I'm writing that if that price is greater than the wanted price I want, then that I should receive a output that the price is still same, and if the price is below than the wanted price, I want to receive that the price has been dropped, and the I should receive an email immediately with this link. So I'm doing, let me keep that wanted price or required price. So what's the price now? 37,999. Let me keep it as 37,000. Yeah, let me keep it as 37 on this one. Okay, I think it won't understand the comma there. Let me keep it as 35,000. Let me write the further code here. If price is greater than or equal to my required price. Okay, note in Python indentation is very important and the colons are also very important while you write anything. Okay, so I'm writing here a variable called difference, which will tell me that what is the difference actually. Difference is equal to price minus required price. Okay, because this thing will be greater here in this case, and print the required price is still what should we write? What kind of message we basically want? The required price is still, I'm using formatting here, dot format of diff. Okay, now the condition says else what? Print the price of the product is cheaper now. Hurry up. Okay, so once this thing is executed, I want my third part to be initiated. What is the third part? So here comes the interesting thing. The third part is the moment I know that the price has been dropped, it should send me an email. And how it is done? Just follow me. Don't worry, chill up. Okay, so in order to do that, first we have to import a module called import import. If I remember it right, it is smtp lib. Yo, that's it. I'm creating a function here. Note, if someone asks you about what is the difference between method and a function in a Python, so in simple I just want to say a function is something which is not declared in the class, and a function which is declared inside the class is known as method. So that doesn't make much difference, but to be precise, so I'm writing a function name called sendMail. So whenever you open a mail, so what basically things you see? Let me show you my Outlook Live. Let me show you what are we going to do now. So you are creating a new message. So you have this thing from, to, subject and a body, and then you send a mail. So we are going to declare all the four things here, and so that we will receive, because we have to know that who is sending us, to whom we are sending, and what is the subject to the sender, and what is the body of this. So in the body we are going to send the link, in subject we are going to send that the product has been dropped, and to, I'm sending myself the same mail, so the from and to mail will be the similar. So don't try to spam me because I'm showing my email here. Let's keep the subject first. Subject is equal to, what is the subject? Hey there bird, the price has been dropped. has been dropped. Hurry up. Okay, so we wrote the subject here, and then what do we want in our body? So let's, body is equal to subject. Yes, subject. Subject and what? Yeah, I'm concatenating it here. So this thing will come, Control C, Control V. So this thing also come here, and after two lines, backslash n, sorry, so what it can be, backslash n, it should be in the string format, that's why backslash n plus, what do we want? We want the URL of the particular product. And how we had declared it? We had declared it in the form of the variable here. So URL, I'm copying this thing and pasting it here. So now you got the rough idea what I'm going to do. Okay, so this one is the subject, this one is the subject here, and this one is the body. So in body, what will we get? We will get the subject. What is the subject? Hey there bird, the price has been dropped, hurry up. And after two lines, means the backslash n works in that form. After two lines, we will get the URL of the particular product, which is this. Okay, I will show you, don't worry. So this thing is something that you have to remember while doing this code. SMTlib, and I'm importing SMTP, where my host is Outlook mail, because I'm using the Outlook mail. You can use the Gmail also, but Gmail is bit more secure than Outlook, I believe so, because it requires the secondary authentication. So outlook.com, and my port is 587. The port is basically same for both the Outlook and Gmail, so don't worry, but the authentication you have to take care of. Okay, so let me initiate it with this name, EHLO, if I'm right. So this function will initiate it. So server dot start TLS. Yeah, I think I'm right. Let's go this server dot login, because we have to log in from the external source. And what is the email address? Okay, now I have to declare the email address now. Email okay, email address. What's my email address? Yeah, don't spam me now. Oh sorry, I have to give my email address as a variable. Okay, I'm giving my email address here. Email address is equal to outlook.com. So we declared our email address, and here comes the password. Don't worry, I had changed the password. Change my password. I know you people what you do. Okay, server dot send mail. Send mail to whom I have to send, because I'm sending to me through me. I hope you got to me through me. And what I'm going to send, I'm going to send body. That's what it is. And I need a confirmation after sending a mail, so I'm writing it as mail sent successfully. And then pass it. So this function, I have to remember it and I have to pass it here. Why? Because once we know that the price has been dropped, it will instantly call this function, and this function will give us this thing, hey bird, the price has been dropped, and it will send us the link, which will make our life way simpler. Got it? So it's done. And at last, let me do this thing. If name is equal to underscore main underscore while true. Here you can choose that if means you can send the mail after every 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, it depends on you. So I am choosing it here as 50 seconds as the time duration. So okay, so I'm calling this function control C, yeah, compare it, time dot sleep. Remember we didn't imported the time module. Let me take it at 40 seconds. Okay, so here import time. Yeah, it's almost done. Let me run it. Activate base. F string is missing. It's showing that F empty expression is something is wrong here. So what actually went wrong here? Let's analyze step by step and revise our code once again. So far we had imported these modules and libraries. We had created a variable URL and headers and other things that are required price and email address. Okay, and we had created 3 functions. We know that. So it is showing that at line number 16 I did a mistake, that is F. So let's remove that first. Okay, and the print, let me modify this. The price is still difference, which is the variable I had created, difference. The price is still difference, more or expensive. Okay, let's check this function, which is title price. Okay, headers, this thing is right, this line is also right, page.content html.parser. Sorry, here I didn't enter the parser. Remember, it's html.parser, and after getting to this, it is soup.find. okay, this one is also right. Okay, here a small twist is there. I will tell you in a short, because I'm going to use split function here, and then we go to this function send mail. Okay, here it's lib, it's lib. Yes, okay, let me run this. Let me run this. Yeah, we got the output. We got the output. You see the blank spaces, we can remove it. We can actually remove the blank spaces. How can? Let me, this is not the exact output, let me tell you, because it's still showing you the error, that invalid literal for the int. Okay, yeah, so let me show you this, that how can we remove these blank spaces first. So here at the point of the title, at the place of the title, let me split and run it. Let's delete this console and run it once again. So here you will observe that the spaces have been deleted. The spaces have been deleted. It should be deleted. Yes. Yes, the spaces have been deleted, and I will show you everything now. Let me strip this also, because here we have the rupee symbol. If you had observed it carefully, we are getting the rupee symbol too, which we don't want, and the comma which is separating the values, we don't want that too. Okay, I'm creating another variable called price. This is not the another variable, it's the previous variable, I'm using it. So price, okay, price what, 1, okay, so price underscore gun is equal to, yes, price dot split, don't want this, and then price is equal to dot join this one. Okay, so let me delete this thing so that you can see, and then I'm using a blank line print of blank. Let's run this and see how it works. Okay, you see this, I did a wrong thing, that I used a split command there. It should be strip command, strip function, because what the split command does, it just divides everything and put them into in the form of list. Okay, let me delete this console once again and run it for you and see the difference. Now feel the difference, we got the output. See, this one is the title, 1 plus 7t, this one is our title. If you compare it with this 1 plus 7t, so this one is the title, the same title has been we got here. And another thing, one is the price, 37,999, and the third one, the price is still expensive, still 2,999 expensive. Why we are getting this? Because the current price is 37,999 and the variable we had used is required price 35,000. So it is going to compare it. So the current price is 37,999 is greater than the required price. Yes, because 35,000 is a lower number, so it will show the price is still the difference between this, which is 37,999 minus 35,000, 2,999 expensive. So that's what we got here. So kudos. So what if the case is reverse, means if the price is low, because we are interested in that part, because we want to trade on that part. So let's, for the case study, let me write the price as 40,000, because 40,000 is greater than the present price. For example, the current price is 40,000 and the drop price is 37,999. For example, just assume for this case, because we want to check our output, what it's going to be. So the moment it checks, the else condition passes, means passes. So the price of the product is cheaper now, hurry up, and it will send us an email, means it will go to this function and process everything, and at the end it will say that the mail sent successfully, and we are continuing this loop for 40 seconds. That means for each 40 seconds it will send us an email if the condition satisfies, if the else condition satisfies in particular. So let me repeat it. Run it. So okay, yeah, see, we got the output. The price of the product is cheaper now, hurry up. And I should receive an email by this time now. See, I received an email. See, check the time, 23 July 2020, and the time is 11:26. If I refresh it once again, I'll get another email. Let's wait. Let me show you that how it works. See, I received another email. Now the time is 11:26. Yes, I received another email. Okay, let's keep this thing aside and see what will we get once we open it. So here is the subject, hey Bert, the price has been dropped, hurry up. And this one is the website, and if I click it, I will ultimately redirect to the product I want.